I know that some of you are not so new members, but you did not go through the induction. Some of you have been with us since the beginning, but you have found it necessary to come. And for those who are very, very new to the network, I really, really thank you for joining us. As they say, together we can. So together with you, together with the rest who we shall attract to this network, we indeed will form a movement, and the Women on Boards network will become a household name, and therefore make it even easier for us to achieve our objectives of ensuring that boards in Kenya are more diverse than they currently are. I hope that you have found some time to navigate through our website, because there is a lot of information on our website, which will be able to answer a lot of your questions. But no worries if you haven't. I am sure you will find time. And as we go along also, I will be pointing you to the right people to help you really settle down within the network, understand who is who, understand our programs, so on and so forth. Perhaps to start us off, let me just invite the members of the board who are on the call to quickly introduce themselves before I go through some slides. So in no particular order, I can see, of course, Judith, who welcomed you. Judith, perhaps just say a few words about who you are and which committee you lead on the board of Women on Boards Network.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. So my name is Judith Sidi Odhiambo, and of course I work at the bank. I'm head of corporate affairs, and I serve in the Women on Boards. I chair the membership committee. And of course, I have been in the Women on Boards network for quite a while. And so I have learned a lot. It has given me good growth, and it has also enabled me to understand the board dynamics. And that's the good thing. And you have a source from where you can tap when you feel that you need some expertise advice on some of these issues that you find yourself tackling and you need some help. So it has been very useful, and I'd like to say that for those who have joined, those who are new, very new, and those who maybe are a year old, don't lose heart, because you'll find it very resourceful, especially when you need to get information that can help you in decision making here and there. So thank you, and over to you, Catherine.
Judith, perhaps while you have the floor, please introduce the members of your committee who are on the call as well.
Okay, and the members of my committee, maybe you can put your cameras on. I see you. That's easier for me. Is Rose Sang on the call? I know. Monica, I think I saw Monica. Monica also serves in my committee.
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Thank you. Is Emma on the call? Okay, so Emma is not there. Jackie Ogonji?
Yes, Judy, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. She also serves in the membership committee. Is there anyone I've left out? Okay, so I think those are the ones, but once I see the names, because I'm the one running the program, I'll be able to mention them, but over to you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like to introduce Faith and Katha. So Faith, please say a few words about yourself, sitting on the board, and also introduce members of your committee. Thank
you. That's okay. I'll just apologize for I'm hiding in a certain room just because of the hour of the day. It's called being a corporate mom. But good evening, everyone. It's such a great pleasure meeting each and every one of you. Some faces and some names look familiar. I'm so excited that you've taken the decision to join Women on Boards Network. So I am Faith Nkatha Gitonga. I currently work for Cellulant Kenya as the CEO for Kenya. And I've been in Women on Boards for probably 6 years now. I keep saying one of the best decisions I ever made. And you know, so many times people think you join this network so that you could get to sit on a board or because you already seated on a board. When I joined it, I probably did not have a clue even about boards. I joined because the network of women pulled me in, and I have learned so much. It's one of those spaces where you get to sit and just soak in everything. It's changed how I think. It's been fantastic for building my networks, both in my corporate life, my career, and my personal life. One of the hardest things I went through in 2020, women in this network were there to support me in so many ways. So ladies, just get ready for an amazing, amazing ride. So I chair the Partnerships, Finance, and Administration Committee. I don't know if the members of my committee are here. I see Christine Sabwa. Maybe Christine, you can say hello.
Good evening, ladies. You're most welcome. Happy New Year to everyone. I serve on Faith's Committee, Finance. You're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. In case I can't see Eva, I don't know if you're here, you can say hello. Jennifer as well. I'm trying to find you. And Rose Maruti, Sandra Kabiru, Winnie Patet, any of you who's there? All right, fantastic. Those are the ladies who sit on the committee. We have great fun and also have very in-depth discussions trying to take the network forward. Some of the things that we handle in this committee is, of course, financial management, looking at our financials, supporting with the auditing process, and just making sure that we oversee every aspect of the financial upbringing and budgets of the network. Secondly, and very, very important, is the strategy for this network. Of course, we don't just wake up and just do things. We have a proper strategy that we put forward, whether it's to do with our budgets and finances, aspects of partnerships and sponsorships that we are doing. We want to make sure that it's all done properly and everyone knows the how, the why, and how we get there. The other thing that's important for me to mention is that we also handle quite a bit to do with international relations and just opportunities that come up in that space. So members of this committee will be meeting different people, whether it's in embassies, whether it's UN bodies, just trying to see whether there are opportunities there that we can take up, or partner in to just grow the network. And finally, and most important, at the administrative role, to just make sure our vision is clear, everyone is aligned. Does every member feel like they understand what our vision, mission, and strategic plan is clear to them, and how we cascade that to every single member. So each of you as a member of this network, you're very welcome, and we care about each and every one of you and ensuring to see that you grow and that the funds you even give us every year are put to good use. And that's what we do as a committee. Again, you're very welcome to the network. Back to you, Catherine.
Thank you very much, Faith. And Judith, when you get back to the floor, maybe you will also talk a little bit about the TORs of your committee, what your committee focuses on, so on and so forth.
Okay,
Faith, for your committee, one of the things we are looking for now that I see Christine is here is that we are looking for some partnership with the Royal Golf Club so that some of us can learn to play some golf. Great. I don't see any other member of the board here. We have Reverend Njenga, who heads the Advocacy Committee, and I would like to invite Beatrice, who will stand in for Reverend, say a few words about what that committee does, and introduce the other members of the committee. Over to you, Beatrice.
Thank you, Chair. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good evening and Happy New Year to you, ladies. Oh, there are gentlemen there. Calvin, if he's around. Good evening and Happy New Year to you all. As you've heard, my name is Beatrice Mesa. I sit in the Policy and Advocacy Committee. Today I'm sitting in for the chair, Reverend Geoffrey Njenga. The members of the committee are, I don't know if they are here, I've not seen any, but we have Pauline Wahinya, Goreti Kimani, Jackie Malomba, Eunice Kuria. Oh, you saw Goreti? Goreti, can you say hi? Hi, Goreti. Okay, we have Eunice Kuria and Irene Mutiso. Those are the members of the committee. This is the committee of the board, which is charged with the responsibility of publicizing this committee, making it known to the public, publicizing its programs. And we don't just do it by saying that, look here, we are here, look at us. No, it is seen by the programs of the committee, like the award that we will talk about, and other committees. This is also the committee that advances the agenda for women on boards, specifically in getting women to the boardrooms, and also speaking against the inherent gender discrimination and those policies that are not wanted in workplaces and in boardrooms. So basically, that is what the committee does. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. And just to confirm that the Women on Boards Network has a board and the committees as we have stated, but it also has a management team. So I would like to hand over to Mrs. Wanga so that she can introduce herself and also members of her management team.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Happy New Year, ladies. For me, it's a pleasure always having a new member come on board. You know, when you cook and no one comes, it is disastrous. So whenever I see a new member signing up, I really get excited, and I really want to welcome you and make you feel at home. And anything that you want to know about the network, please always reach out to us. The secretariat is always there, available to serve you because you make us tick. So for my members, I would like to call upon Hannah to say hi. And okay, before Hannah comes, I am currently the CEO of the Women on Boards Network. Thank you. Hannah?
Thank you, Mrs. Wanga. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hannah Mwangi, and I work at the Women on Boards Secretariat as a company secretary. My work basically involves coordinating the works, the activities of the committees, and also program planning and implementation. We are happy to have you on board, and we look forward to serving you. Thank you.
Mercy Kantai.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kantai, and we are delighted to have you among us this evening and also for joining us in the network. And I wish you all the best in your endeavors, and may all the favors be upon you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kantai. Kantai also deals with junior membership. So any junior on the call that would like to join the network, speak to Kantai. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Wanga. Kantai, perhaps you can put up the slides for me so that I quickly walk through them. Thank you very much. Great. On to my first slide. So I want you to really feel welcome to the Women on Boards network. And just to tell you a little bit about the Women on Boards network is that we were registered in Kenya in 2014 as a not-for-profit organization. For those of you who are lawyers in the house, we are registered as a company limited by guarantee, which basically means that 4 of us, and I will be speaking a little bit about who the 4 are, gave a guarantee to the company. So it's not a company limited by shares, but it is a company limited by guarantee, which means that any funds that come into the organization are used for the work of the organization and they cannot be drawn out of it. So we launched the organization in April of 2014. We had a wonderful session where we invited the Cabinet Secretary of Defense then, Madam Rachel Madam Rachel, sorry, what's the name? Omamo. And Omamo, I'm sorry about that. Omamo, who was our chief guest. And since then, we have run a number of programs. We are indeed committed to ensuring that boards in Kenya are more diverse than they were in 2014. When we launched this network, just about 9% of boards were made up of women. We do not claim all the credit, but as you saw from the report last year that was issued by KIM, board positions that are held by women, the percentage has really gone up, and we are actually leading the pack in the world in terms of gender parity on board. So we're really excited about that. And we do want to ensure that we build on to those achievements that we have had in the past, so that boards are more diverse, not just from a selfish perspective of women getting board positions, but the impact of having a diverse board to the economy is really amazing. And studies across the world have actually spoken to the correlation between diverse boards and companies that are performing well. On to the next slide. Kantai, next slide. So our vision, before that, I have really talked about the vision, so really no need to do that. It's just about ensuring that we have gender parity on boards. On to the next slide. What do we do? In order for us to achieve the vision and mission that we have set out to achieve, we run a number of programs, and I'm just going to run through some of them so that you can see how you can plug in what works best for you and how you can then reap the benefits of being a member of Women on Boards Network. So training is one of our key mandates. We ensure that we run a number of training programs on diverse topics which are related to board leadership, which ensure that first help us prepare women to sit on to boards, but secondly also for those who are already sitting on boards, ensure that they are being effective. When we look at some of the training programs we have run in the past, some of them have been very impactful, particularly the corporate governance training program And for those who have not signed up yet, we do have one of those programs running in February. So please sign up for the 1-week corporate governance training program. Since COVID hit, we have been taking that program virtually, but it is as impactful as when we were running it face-to-face. When things open up, of course, we will look to do face-to-face. But for now, for the first quarter, we have it as a virtual program. We have other training programs. We have programs in how to develop one's board profile. One of the things that many of you know is that a CV is not the same as a board profile. And when people are looking for board members, they hardly look at CVs. They look at CVs only when they have additional time. But they want to look at a board profile that perhaps even just at a glance, it tells them who you are and how you can add value to their boards. So we train our members in developing their board profile so that they speak to the roles that we would like them to occupy. We train our board members, on board etiquette and a variety of other topics that are relevant. The second program that we have is really around board admission. And as the committees were introducing themselves, you will have noticed from the TORs that they have that many of them have a responsibility to actually go out and look for board positions for our members. So in fact, this morning the board was meeting, and one of the things they said is that while we cannot get a board position for everybody, we can prepare them to be board ready, but secondly, let's also look for positions where they can even just act as, board members who are learning, apprentices, so to speak. So we are looking into those programs so that we have board members who are sort of deputizing the statutory board members. The other program that we run is we have an annual conference. We run the annual conference on an annual basis. We have done, I think, 7 annual conferences since we began, and we have been getting a very good response. This year, we are looking to run it in November. The dates will be circulated, so we hope that as many of you as possible will attend, because during those 3 days, they are packed with nuggets, learning, with networking events, so on and so forth. And when we were doing this face-to-face, we would get down and just relax as well. So we are hoping that things will settle down this year and we'll be able to do either a hybrid event or an actual face-to-face event. We also have breakfasts and round tables where, again, we invite speakers to come and speak to us about areas of interest for our members, particularly around the leadership journey of women, particularly around how can you be an effective board member. Then we also have what we call board talks. Board talks are, short 1-hour sessions where, again, we invite speakers to come in and speak to us about key issues relating to board leadership. We have had panel discussions in the past. We have had talks around board dynamics. We have had talks about how, as a woman, you influence change. We have had talks about, specific areas of corporate governance, risk management, etiquette, and so on and so forth. On to the next slide, can't I? One other program that we have is the junior membership program. Now, one of the things that I learned very quickly later in life is that perhaps if I had had somebody holding my hand when I was much younger, my leadership journey would have been much smoother than it was. And so we set up the junior membership program so that we can catch our children, both girls and boys, when they are much younger, and we walk them through their leadership steps early on in life. So the junior membership program is open to both young girls and young boys from around the age of 11 years to about 24 years of age when they are leaving university and before they get their first job. So if you have young ones in the house, please encourage them to join our junior membership program. The membership fee is, I won't call it negligible, but it's very minimal for them to become members and to maintain their membership in good standing. We have a mentorship program for them. We link them up with our senior members who are willing to provide mentorship to them. And this year we are looking to revamp the program so that it is more active or much more active than it was last year. On to the next slide, please. I have really talked around why gender diversity and inclusion matters. This is why we exist. This is why we are doing what we are doing. And it's not really, and this is something that I always tell people, it's not about you. It's not about trying to be equal to men. It is about ensuring that we are adding value to organizations. It's about ensuring that boards are performing much, much better than they are. And studies across the world actually speak to this. If you just Google some of the studies, you will find that diversity indeed does matter. And so if you have a board that is just made up of men, or a board, on the other hand, that is just made up of women, potentially they're missing out on another voice, which is very, very important for the performance of that organization. So I would like to encourage you, when people say, why women on boards, tell them this is not about me, this is about us adding value to the organization. And so also, when people come to women on boards asking for certain CVs, we are quick to add that we are not in the business of sending our members to boards where they are considered as having gotten that role simply because they're women. They're getting that role because they're adding value to the organization, and that's how we would like to position Women on Boards Network. On to the next slide, Kantai. So let me talk a little bit about the founders of Women on Boards Network. Remember, I said that 4 members are the ones who gave the guarantee. They still have given the guarantee for Women on Boards Network to exist. There is Calvin Nyachoti. We like to make fun of him that he's the only man who carries a pink card, only that in the recent past, we have also appointed Reverend Jenga to the Board of Women on Boards. We talk about diversity, so we should also live by example. And so our board is made up of both men and women, which we find is very, very important. So Calvin Nyachoti is a lawyer by profession, a governance practitioner, and a man who deeply believes in diversity. The second founder is FCS Nkirote Mworianjiru, who is also a lawyer by profession, currently working for Old Mutual Group, deeply believes in diversity and deeply believes in the vision of Women on Boards Network. Rose Lumumba, CS Rose Lumumba, I thought I saw Rose joining. Rose, are you on the call? Okay, maybe she's not. Rose Lumumba is also a founder member, a lawyer by profession, and a governance expert as well. Currently works for the IFC. The four of us are lawyers, but it's not about being lawyers. As you will see that we have other members on the board who are not lawyers. It's about diversity on the board. So we have diversified our skills as well. We have diversified in terms of gender as well. And we have diversified in terms of age as well. Faith, we like to call Faith our younger member on the board. So we have age diversity on the board as well. On to the next slide. The Women on Boards Network, the board sat down and decided that instead of just the board going out together with the committees to speak about the Women on Boards Network, we felt it was important for us to plug into 5 individuals whose brands we really admired, who are influencers or are still influencers in society, and who could speak about Women on Boards Network in networks that perhaps we could not even reach. And so we appointed these 5 individuals, Ms. Rita Kavashe, who is the managing director of Isuzu East Africa, deeply concerned about diversity on boards, really believes in the vision. Ms. Flora Mutahi, who is the founder and CEO of MASH International, who is also the current chair of KEPSA, formerly the current chair of KAM. She of the Melvin's Tea, if you know Melvin's Tea, she is also our brand ambassador. Ms. Patricia Ithau, who's the regional director East Africa of the Stanford Seed, the Stanford Institute. She too is our brand ambassador. And we also decided that we were going to diversify in terms of our brand ambassadors as well. So we have 2 gentlemen who deeply believe in the mission, in the vision of the Women on Boards Network. Dr. Julius Kipngetich, he lives and speaks and lives and speaks the vision of Women on Boards. And so does John Ngumi. If there are ambassadors that we are proud of, these 5 people, we're really proud of them because they do not tire to speak about women on boards. In addition to just speaking about us in places that we cannot reach, these brand ambassadors have also agreed to mentor the Women on Boards Network members. And so we have a mentorship program that is led by these brand ambassadors. We have one which we started late last year, which will be tailing off during the first quarter of this year, but we shall request them to start running another one. So they are the people to go to for us when it comes to diversity, when it comes to speaking for us on the various boards that they sit in, influencing policy, so on and so forth. So these are gentlemen and women that we rely on. On to the next slide. Now, I did introduce these 3 much earlier. They are the chairs of the various committees that we have at Women on Boards. We have 3 committees, and Faith did speak about her committee. Beatrice did speak about Reverend Jenga's committee. And now I'd like to invite Judy to just speak a little bit about the TORs of the Membership and Programs Committee. Judy, over to you.
Thank you, Catherine. So basically, the Members and Programs Committee has the various purposes to fulfill in the Women on Boards Network. So the first is that we have to ensure that membership and professional standards are maintained and applied to the required levels, because that's important, is because we also normally do the curriculum for the calendar of trainings. So that is a very important component to ensure that the professional standards are actually maintained. ensure development of the WOBN's membership at large, including full and associates, ensure also timely and strategic communication and education of members and potential members. Like what we are doing today is part of that exercise. So it's to make sure as much as possible you have awareness of everything that is happening under WOBN. And if there are any activities to be done, you're getting the regular updates. If there are invites to be done, you're also getting them. So that then you can be able to participate in the one that you have an interest in and you don't miss out on anything. And also to promote membership growth and retention. So yes, we'd like to see ourselves grow. I think today we were saying about 638, if that's the correct number. And yes, so we have grown. So we are 638 of us. So the number has grown. And so what does it mean for that? How do we retain? So retention means then we have various activities for each and every group so that everybody can be able to fully participate in the membership. And then also review membership recruitment drive. So basically what we do is to review what has been happening. Are there areas that we need to improve? Are there places that have potential that we need to reach out to, which we have overlooked? What is feedback? We also get feedback from you as our members, because that feedback is also important, because when we plan for the training sessions and programs for the upcoming year, we make sure that we have included some of the feedback that we have received from you. So feel free also to be sharing your feedback. That's very important, because it is through this feedback that we are also able to improve ourselves and also to be able to make this network beneficial to you. So let us take the time to know what is Women on Boards, and also take the time to understand the requirements. But it's important that also you fully participate to be able to enjoy your membership. Thank you, and over to you, Catherine.
Thank you very much, Judith. And you remind me of why the network was set up. Yes, of course, one of the key reasons we set it up is to ensure that we place our members onto boards. But we don't have a control of which board is recruiting at what point. And so that is why there are other benefits. So it's not just about securing that board position, but there are other benefits that you get as a member of Women on Boards. And I want to just speak a little bit about some of those benefits. You will recall that I spoke about training programs, mentorship programs, so on and so forth. All these programs, we open them up to non-members as well. However, when you look at how we charge for these programs, you will find that if you are a paid up member, then you are charged at a rock bottom fee, which is just sometimes breaking even, sometimes not. For example, when we are running face-to-face board talks, members will just pay for their own tea, but they will not pay for the speaker, so on and so forth. That comes out of their membership fee. For the non-members, they will pay higher because then they are getting benefits that they haven't contributed to. So that is one benefit. The second benefit, of course, is that networking, that we are exposing you to this network. And in this network, depending on how you network, and as we were joining, somebody was talking about networking. This network is not just about, you know, perhaps you knowing Reverend Jenga or Faith or whatever. It is, how do I connect with Reverend Jenga? What is it about Reverend Jenga that will be beneficial to me as an individual, that will be beneficial to my business, that I can call on when I need? So the network can come to your aid in many ways. It's not just about that board position. Then, of course, just helping you along that leadership journey is critical. You grow as an individual. As Faith says, and if she gives you her journey, when she joined, she was almost afraid of even speaking up. you know, meetings where older people were. But right now, faith is the to-go-to person, you know. So you grow in other ways than just joining a board, so on and so forth. I have seen a question about membership fee and when the membership fee is paid. So the membership fee is a one-off, which is paid when you join. Thereafter, you just pay an annual fee. So the membership fee for the full member is 15,000 Kenya shillings. And then on an annual basis, you pay 10,000. Now, let me tell you the trick about that 10,000. If you just participate in 2 or 3 of those activities, you will have gotten back that 10,000 without breaking a sweat. Because when you compare what you pay for those our programs with the non-members, you will find that you're getting back that money very, very quickly. And some of these programs that we run, which we run with international partners, you will find that if you are to go for them on your own, you will pay an arm and a leg. The board profiling program, for example, which we have convinced an ex-conferee person out of Malaysia to run for us, is really something that we charge at a rock bottom fee, so it's a benefit to our members. Then, of course, the knowledge that we get through the monthly newsletter. We put together a monthly newsletter for our members. This morning, the board was talking about us starting to build the profiles of our members through that monthly newsletter. So we look into that as well. Kantai, on to the next slide. The secretariat, they were introduced to you at the beginning, so I will not talk too much about them, just to say that these 3 ladies have done amazing work. Sometimes some of the things that we have managed to do as Women on Boards Network, sometimes you may be forgiven to think that the secretariat stroke management is made up of 10 people. So they go out of their way to do so much for us. Call them at any time, they will pick, send them an email at any time, they will respond. And if they don't, they know that Catherine will be on their case. But no, genuinely, they do believe in the cause. So they don't do it because I'm looking over the shoulder. They do it because they're really passionate about the work of Women on Boards Network. And let me take this opportunity, Agnes, Hannah, and Kantai, just to appreciate you for the work that you do for us at the Secretariat. On to the next slide. Okay, so some of our programs for 2022. The first program I would like to speak about is the Global Women on Boards program. This is a program we run with Lead Women of Malaysia. And this year we have signed on a new partner, which is the Columbia Global Centers. It means it is a program being run by the 3 partners, ourselves, Columbia Global Centers, which is an offshoot of Columbia University, and then Lead Women of Malaysia. This program is being rolled out this first quarter, and it will kick off in May. It is about attracting, being able to sit on international boards as well. And it is an amazing program. It has a mentorship element to it. So when you sign up for it, you get a mentor who works with you for a period of 6 months. You may choose a mentor either locally here or from across the globe. We have mentors who are scattered across the UK, US, Malaysia, and we are trying to get some out of India as well. So it is an amazing program. We've run it for the last 3, we have run, I think, 3 cohorts so far. this will be our 4th cohort, and we look forward to having you on board for that particular program. We are hoping that this year, the graduation, which will be held in November, will actually be held in Paris. So we are working towards that. Then we have the corporate governance crash program, which I talked about earlier. It is a program for a full week, amazing program that just helps you understand the basics of sitting on boards and being effective on the board. On to the next slide. Board profiling and personal positioning workshop. This is run by someone we call TP. He is an ex-Conferry. I'm sure you have heard of Conferry, which is a renowned HR firm. He's based in Malaysia. He has not managed to come and run the programs face-to-face because of COVID. So we have been running these programs online. And some of the people, I saw Rosemary Odo here, perhaps at some point she will tell us, because she has gone through this program and she has told me that her board profile really was positively impacted by that program. So happy for you to join on to that program. Rosemary, are you here?
I'm here, Catherine.
Would you like to say a word about it?
Yes, I'll just talk about that particular program that Catherine has mentioned. And what it is that we tend to underestimate what it is that we can do. And so this is an expert who looks at your CV, and your CV is a document that you've been looking for jobs with, but it's very different from a board profile, from what Catherine said earlier. And so he's able to look at that and bring out the qualities or the skills that you have that are specifically required by boards, and to put it together in a way that you are going to be attractive when your board profile is presented for board positions. I highly recommend it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. The mentorship programs, I know there are people on this call who have also gone through 1 or 2 mentorship programs. And if there is anybody who would like to speak about any of these, please just put up your hand or unmute yourself and speak about it. Any of the mentorship programs, if there is anybody on the call.
Catherine, we have Mandy, and then we have Karen. I don't know that they're on call, they can speak.
Yes, please.
Hi, good evening.
Thank
you, Mrs. Odhiambo. Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mendy Mwangi. I am a member of the junior WOBN team. In fact, Mrs. Odhiambo is my mentor, and it's lovely to see her on the call. I joined about 2 years ago when I was 22, and would highly recommend those who are joining potentially to volunteer should they feel that they have something to share, and or encourage those in their lives to those young people in their lives to join. We gain a lot of nuggets of wisdom. I got my first job as a mentee of Mrs. Odhiambo, and I've learned a lot about how to strategically position myself at an early stage within the organization, and just also to encourage those who, when you see board talk being advertised, to attend. People there don't shy away from any topic related to women on boards, and so karibuni sana, and karibuni in advance to those who you'll invite, the young people in your lives who you'll invite. Thank you for the opportunity, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much. I see Nemo. Nemo, I think you've gone through one of the mentorship programs. Would you like to say a word?
Yes, good evening, Catherine and the members. Thank you so much. Yes, I did go through the mentorship program, and my God, it was really eye-opening. And it was really, really good, at least to learn and experience and gain from most of the experienced practitioners who are out there. So the knowledge, everything was really good. And the networks, the friends, they even became more like best friends than anything else. And we still do communicate, we still do exchange ideas, we still encourage each other, and we still really in contact. So it was a really eye-opener for us. It was really a golden opportunity for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see Naomi Njeri is on the call, and I think, Naomi, you've gone through the corporate governance training program, and you have also gone through the board profiling program. So would you like to say a word?
Yes, Catherine, I think the program is really interesting. I have managed to attend most of the programs virtually based in Abidjan. And I say there's a lot to take up, especially the talks and the leadership sessions that you host, and also the training program, for example, the corporate governance. I gained really a lot from it, and I've been able to profile my CV into a board profile, and I have also benefited from mentorship, especially from the ambassadors. I do attend the ongoing mentorship program. So it's really a good opportunity for you to prepare yourself for leadership positions. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. Anybody else who has gone through any of the programs, please feel free to put any comments in the chat. We'll pick them up, both to improve the programs and also what your experience has been. Thank you very much. On to the next slide, please. The Women on Boards Awards. Last year, we decided to launch the Women on Boards Awards because we felt that there were so many men and women out there who were doing great things, but we were not recognizing them. So we launched the Women on Boards Awards last year at the tail end of the annual conference. This year, we have already launched the WOBN 2022 Awards, and we shall be sharing more details. Please encourage others, to participate. Those are the award categories, and we hope that this year the awards will be better, bigger, and impactful in terms of just, making a difference in the lives of the individuals who win, but also influence other people to become more aware of the issue of diversity on boards. On to the next slide. Now I want to hand over to Jackie Ogonji. Jackie Ogonji has been with us right from inception. And Jackie is an amazing ambassador for Women on Boards, but also Jackie is a real critic of the Women on Boards Network. So she's part of us. She sits on our committee, one of our committees, but Jackie does not shy away from telling us where we are going wrong. We really value that feedback, Jackie. And I want to ask her to speak about one other program which we have, which is called Coteries. Jackie, over to you.
Thank you very much, Catherine. And good evening to all members. Thank you for having, we're actually grateful for having you this evening. I can see we have 72 people, so it's exciting. I think this is one of the discussions that we've been having in the various committees to just ensure that we have an induction and all members get to be oriented. We get to understand what's happening. So it's an honor to have each and every one of you. Catherine, as usual, we also thank you guys so much for having walked with us the different journeys. When we join Women on Boards, some of us are not board members. Some of us do not even know if we can fit to be in any boards. But as we get along, there's a lot of programs that have been put in place to support each and every one of us. So Catherine has mentioned the programs. We've got an exciting networking opportunity called Coteries. So I am in a coterie, which I'm a member with some lovely ladies. What happens in the coteries is that when you join, Agnes usually puts you up in a team, and then you meet up every month. That is ideally what should happen. So we know that sometimes it's not possible for the coteries to meet, but we encourage that. Now, these coteries are meant to support you with networking, are meant to help you hold yourselves accountable. And I'll give you an example of what we do in our coterie. So I think what we started at the beginning was we wanted to do things jointly. So we decided that we wanted to support some ladies, and therefore we went to Shofco. And of course, with the support of the different members, we were able to take up some mentorships with the girls. We then visited them, and we started following up what they were doing. The next project we did was to be accountable to each other. So in that phase, everybody said what they really wanted to do. And then we kept, in our meetings, you had to give an update on what you have done. And in case any other member is able to support you, then they would. I like to say there are some members. Judy is one of the members, and you can see Judy has gone up the ladder since she was in our coterie. We've got other people who took up leadership positions. We also have certain individuals who were able to take on some very passionate things they were doing. Alice is one of them. She was very passionate about just health and fitness. Right now, she's doing very well. She's become a coach. I think she was able to identify what she really wanted, and she's enjoying that space. Myself, in my career, I think I have been able to do much better. I've gotten different opportunities, of course, within my sector to be able to be seen as a leader, subject matter expert. And also I have been able to perform much better on the boards. I think Flora sits on my board, and she could effectively say she has seen some improvement from where I started. And then it's also very lovely to see certain faces of people you either talk in forums, they're there, or you find yourself in forums that they're there. And one of the things that I'd like to say is when you hold yourselves accountable in your coteries, some of the good things is that whenever something happens, you sort of find a place where you could celebrate each other. And whenever something happens, like you get to maybe social media, then you will get a lot of support and people just saying thumbs up. I'll give an example. I think through Women on Board, I was given an opportunity to just talk about my journey as a leader, which I did. And when it went to the newspapers, it was something huge. I did not expect that. And John Gumi did not have my number, but he had the number of my deputy CEO. And he reached out to the deputy CEO and said, I'd like to talk to Jackie. I think she's taken the right path. So you can see the networks are there, which you can still find within the coteries. You have an opportunity to be held accountable by your team members. So we do know that the new members, we have not had you into coteries yet, but Agnes has prioritized to ensure that she's going to be able to do that by February, so that at least every one of you is able to be part of a team. Then you select who your leaders are. You meet, you can send photos on the group. You can do various different things. It's all dependent on yourselves. So the coterie for me has been a great opportunity to know the other ladies better, to have people who I am accountable to and who check on me once in a while, who celebrate me. And to be honest, there's been growth in each and every one of us who's been in the various coteries. So I do appreciate so much that I've been part of a great team. And I do know that if the rest of us take the coteries a little more serious, it needs more time, it needs commitment, it needs you to take accountability, it needs ownership on the things that you have promised your fellow members that you will do. For sure, it's a space you will enjoy. It doesn't happen oftenly. We don't get this kind of groups. So for me, it's been great, and I truly appreciate. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Judy, I would like to hand back to you.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Jackie, for that elaborate explanation about coteries, and good to see you also, and Happy New Year. So we are now going to look at our members to be able to share our experiences. I know we had Nemo who had spoken earlier. We had, is it Karen? Karen, did you speak? Karen Rono?
No, it wasn't me, it was Mendy.
Oh, it was Mandy. So you can go ahead then.
Okay, my name is Karen Rono. By profession, I'm a lawyer practicing at Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi Advocate LLP. I am a junior member of the Women on Boards, and my experience has been quite intense. And I think Catherine can testify to this. So when I joined initially, it was one of my mentors from a different circle who recommended it. Then once I joined the platform, I was given a Women on Boards appointed mentor who happened to be Emma. So Emma came on board into my life, and she decided to adopt a different strategy when it came to mentoring. It was, let's learn from each other, which is completely different from what most of us are used to. So through that, we influenced each other's lives in ways that I don't think we'd ever imagine. So she joined circles. So I'm in Rotary, so she managed to join Rotary. Then she influenced me to start a tax course. So through that, for me, my career has escalated in a way that I didn't think possible. Beyond that, I managed to attend the corporate governance training. I was part of the September cohort. That was one training that I think for sure was too generic and will forever stand out in my life, in the sense that, and I keep on dating back to the board simulation. So for my classmates, Nemo and Shamim, who we did the board training with, I think we will never forget the moment where we were put in a board setup. No one was told anything, and then you're told, we want you to act out this scenario. Then the thing about it is, and I won't, now I think that is the bit where I will let the ... because if I do tell you what will happen, it will be more of a spoiler. So that board simulation for most of us sort of gave us an exposure of what it means to sit in a board, of the lessons and the ideas and the personalities of people that come on board. Beyond that, I have also gotten the opportunity to moderate several sessions. I moderated one of the sessions for the annual conference, for the board series, and especially for the junior membership. I normally get to moderate the sessions, which has taught me a lot of impromptu leadership and speaking. So as a person, as a professional, it has grown me to lengths that I didn't think possible. So to the new members, always remember Martin Luther King's words, that you might, in order for you to take the first step, you don't need to see the entire staircase. So as you start this particular journey, and as you continue, for those who are already serving on boards, may this be an adventure-filled space. May you get to interact with the amazing and important women within the space, and may you get to enjoy every lesson that comes out of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. That's very inspiring. Goreti, your call? Shamim?
Hello.
Okay, Goreti. Is that Goreti?
Yes, that's Goreti. Good evening,
Okay,
everyone.
Good evening and welcome.
Yes, my name is Goreti Kimani. I'm the CEO at People Consultant Limited, and I joined Women on Board in 2017. I actually introduced myself. I attended a meeting where Catherine was speaking, and I got interested and I joined. I've been a beneficiary of attending so many breakfast meetings, both the physical and virtual. I'm also enjoying the mentorship program that are ongoing. It's great to learn from these great leaders, and it's also good to see them having the desire to see us grow. I've also attended the corporate governance training and certified. It was fantastic. I've grown as a leader. I've become more confident. It's very inspiring to see other ladies succeed. So you see, according to if they can do it, you can do it. It's also good to see the youngsters who are coming. Other than the leadership, I have been through the Women on Board. They able to help me join my first board actually. That is the EHF board appointment that came in last year. I'm also in the Policy and Advocacy Committee. I never actually thought that I'm that resourceful. It's exciting because we're instrumental in having last year's inaugural Women on Board award. So, and I'm looking forward to being more resourceful. Networking is powerful, understanding the board dynamics. Sometimes we just thought that it belonged to some class of people. We didn't know that you can be trained, you can be mentored. You have successful board, women who are successful in board like Kathleen and Kilota being helpful. Like Frida, I had a challenge in 2020, a very serious challenge, and being a member of Women on Board sorted it out through Kilota. So We actually take care of each other, look out of for each other as sisters. So it's actually fantastic. And the willingness to help one another come out of a challenge or move to bigger, higher spheres is fantastic. So networking is also huge. Board diversity, it's also good to see women on board, not just thinking about the girls. We are talking about the junior membership for the young boys so that they can also become successful board leaders in future, and hopefully they will be happy to diversify. So for me, I'll encourage the new members, participate in all the forums, whatever comes up, participate, especially now that we can do it virtually. You don't have to travel from far. Whether you're in Ghana, whether you're in Mombasa, wherever you are, you can join virtually. It's a great journey. Anybody can make it. Once you step in, you learn personal development, you learn how to communicate, and everyone is inspiring to make sure that you succeed. So karibuni sana those who are new. I know the journey will be fantastic, but remember you have to put up your hand to be recognized. So when you come in and opportunities are advertised, try your luck. You never know. So keep trying, keep learning, and keep being positive that if others are making it, you can make it. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Goretti. Shamim? Kristen?
Hi, and good evening.
Good evening. Welcome, Shamim.
Thank you. My experience is has been this journey of joining women on boards has been very fruitful for me. I joined to learn, to network, and to belong. You know, I really do feel at home here. For the new members, when you join, you will feel truly at home. Now, there are a number of things that have really worked for me. You know, the mentorship program, and like someone said, I came here to learn. So I take advice very seriously. So when there are programs, I actually, you know, register. I went through the governance training with Karen, and it was very experiential. And from the learnings there, I'm able to apply my experiences to the boards that I sit on right now. So I've attended the governance training, and it gave me a confidence boost, you know, claiming my space. The mentorship program, you know, has opened up a lot of opportunities for me because as a team and our mentor, you know, he taught us how to seek the opportunities that we want, not only on boards, but generally in life. The board profiling with TP was amazing. I'm an HR practitioner, and you know, I asked Catherine and Agnes, I don't know what kind of CV I've been throwing out there, despite being an HR professional, because after the profiling, board profiling session with TP, I used the principles to actually draw out my CV in a better way. And all these have culminated in me getting opportunities. I serve on 3 boards. I have been with women on boards just for a year. So for me, you know, beyond the other opportunities that I have gotten, I serve on 3 boards. One thing I learned from the sessions that I ran is that women are scared. As women, we don't claim our space, and you know, we are scared to sit on the boards that look like they've got a lot of work. So I currently sit on committees such as the audit and risk, finance. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have done that. You know, strategy and vetting. So you know, when I sit in the board meetings, you know, I apply practical lessons that I have learned through the whole process, through the mentorship, the board talks. I love the way most of, and actually all of the speakers are very real and authentic. So, you know, so it's very easy to relate and apply what it is that we are learning. So for me, it's been a fantastic journey. I have got a lot to show for, in fact, if I'm talking about return on investment, I think over the year I have gone over and above 110% of what I paid. So I'm very excited to be here. Karibuni sana, and you will certainly feel at home and learn from the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamim, for that, of course, inspiring words that you have given us this evening. Christine, had you spoken, Christine? No.
No, not yet. Good
Okay,
evening,
fine.
everyone.
Go ahead. Good evening.
Okay. As I'd mentioned earlier, I'm a member of the Finance Committee. I joined Women on Boards 4 years ago. And at the time that I joined, I was sitting on 3 boards. And one of the things that interested me in joining the network, despite already being on some boards, I realized that if I was to excel and also, build my profile in the boards that I was sitting on, it was important that I also identify myself with people that are in similar situations. But now the shocking thing was I not only learned a lot of things from those who are already in boards in the network, but also those who were aspiring had been trained and had very good examples of things that one can do in particular situations. So for me, Women on Boards, the word network totally represents what Women on Boards does for you. And I'm very privileged to have been one of the award winners of the first Women on Boards Awards that our chair mentioned. And it's really, I think interestingly, I've won different awards in different places, but the profile that Women on Boards has, and when they did the publicity for the awards and announcing the winners and the event, actually really boosted me because I got many calls from people. And I realized, wow, Women on Boards has done, even publicity for all the people who participated, the winners, and I'm really privileged to be part of this network. So the word network really works. One of the things that I did, I ran an audit firm. I retired from corporate work in 2016 and started my own audit firm. And I was quite keen to share the experience that I have. And I remember once Catherine called me when they needed a speaker for one of the sessions for the workshop. And she may not know this, but I was quite scared to be training people both from Malaysia and Kenya. And I said, well, the Kenyan ones, I probably can give them things that they would appreciate, but I don't know about the global ones. But that session was really good. We had a wonderful time with the ladies. And it actually gave me confidence as well that I can actually package the experience that I have and venture into that. So the network has really been good for me individually, for all the people that I've met. And then also, as many of us have said, we've made friends. It's very hard to make friends when you're older, but Women on Boards Network actually makes it easy for you to make friends. So I'd really like to encourage you to put your hand up, volunteer. Sometimes you might see, it's the same people moderating, guiding a session. Volunteer and say, I would like to do this. I have this experience and I'm willing to volunteer for the sake of other ladies. So really enjoy the network. You're most welcome. Enjoy the network, and I'll be happy to help anyone who has any questions that they think we can benefit from one another. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christine. So I think, Hannah, we are done with that. So basically what we are looking at is what are the upcoming events and programs for the year 2022. So if you have your phone, you can take a screenshot so that at least you can be able to keep yourself up to date. The Corporate Governance Training Crash Program, there are 3 cohorts. The first cohort is, I think, the first or second week actually of February 7th to 11th, then in May 2nd to 6th, and then September 5th to 9th. So registrations now are ongoing for the February cohort. So those who are interested, please get in touch with the secretariat. Then we have the WOBN Ambassadors Board Mentorship Program, which will kick off in February. As Catherine had earlier said, the other program is coming to a tail end, and so this will now be a new one. So again, if you're interested, please put your name forward to the secretariat so that then they can be able to have you in their documents. Board Talk series, this also will continue. So on 10th of March, you're going to have the Board Talk program from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And then we have the WOBN Group board mentorship program for aspiring directors. This will be in June, 29th June to 16th November. And then we have board profiling and personal positioning workshop, which of course we learn about how to prepare your documentation for board, which is different from how we do our CVs. We have received very good testimony from members who have gone through it. That is, it has actually enabled them to be able to have better clarity on what is expected when you're doing your board profile. So there are 3 cohorts again in March, April, and July, and then in October and November. So let's take cognizance of these events and the programs that are in place so that then we can be able to plan ahead and see which ones we can be able to attend, which will make sense for us, even as we progress into the year 2022. Next slide. So yeah, so it's 4 minutes to 9. So just to tell each one of you, welcome on board. Enjoy the ride. It doesn't look easy, but also the good thing is that everybody is ready to work with you at hand. And also just to make sure that when you have an issue, please reach out to the secretariat so that they can be able to give you guidance on any matter that you think that you want further clarification. So I'd like now to call the meeting to an end, but before that, I will ask Hannah whether is there anything else that you'd like to tell members before we close officially.
Nothing from, yes, nothing from our end unless there's any question from our members.
Okay, so what we'll do also, we look at some of the questions. We can be able to respond to you on email for those questions that we'll have asked, because at least we want to make sure that we keep time. So what we'll do, I'll finish the program with a word of prayer. I've seen a comment, somebody saying kindly share the PPT. So I think Hannah, you'll organize for that, for those who attended to be able to have access to the PowerPoint so that they can use it for their further reference. So we can pray as we close. So we thank you, Lord, for this evening. We thank you for the session that we have just had. We commit the night into your hands. We ask for your angels to surround and watch over us. We commit the day tomorrow also into your hands. We ask you, Father, for your goodness, your mercy, and your favor to guide us and to lead us, oh God, throughout the day, even as we complete this week. We thank you for everything, and we want to and we pray this trusting and believing in Jesus' name. Amen. So thank you all. Nice evening, and have a blessed Friday tomorrow. So thank you all, and also the weekend ahead. So thank you all, ladies. We'll catch up in our other sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Judy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine.